Hello, I'm Julie Thompson. Welcome to the Pembroke Select Board Candidate Interview. I want to take a moment to thank our candidate for participating in this interview and collaborating with PAC TV to bring this informational programming to residents and voters this election season. Let me explain the format. Today, John Brown will be interviewed. John will have 2 minutes to introduce himself, speak about his background, his qualifications, and why he's running for office. He will then be asked a series of questions, which will include an exchange, a back and forth between him and myself. Each question and exchange should be between 3 and 4 minutes. He will then have a 2-minute closing statement. The responses and closing statements will be timed as well. John will see the time clock for reference on his screen. Let's get started with the opening statement. John, welcome, and you have 2 minutes.
Great, thank you. Hi, my name is John Brown, candidate for re-election to the Pembroke Select Board. The reason I want to continue being your Select Board member is for the fact that the job that we started in town is not complete. Through the efforts of the town manager and the board, we have aggressively pursued grant money for the town of Pembroke on the state and federal levels. I was successful in hosting a firefighter grant workshop in town with over 50 fire departments throughout the Commonwealth were able to participate. I was named to the town manager search committee with my colleague Dan Trabucco that was responsible for the recommendations for our new town manager. I was liaison for the grant writer we had in town for several different projects, the Memorial Park, the Bleach Streets, Town Landing, which unfortunately these projects were put on hold because of COVID-19. I'm the liaison for the Council of Aging. With the help of one of my other colleagues, we continued giving our seniors a voice in our community. Mainly, I have had the opportunity to be the liaison for the people of Pembroke to the Select Board's office, where up until the pandemic, I would go to people's houses or conduct office hours in Town Hall weekly and be able to talk to the people to see how the town can help them. I want to thank PAC TV for giving me the opportunity to answer questions today, and to the people of Pembroke for the encouragement of running for re-election to the Select Board June 26th. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we're going to go on to the questions. So question number 1, John. Given what we have experienced in the past year, what are the most valuable lessons learned and how can they be utilized in managing the town moving forward?
Well, the best thing that we've learned is that we're resilient. As a people, as a community, we can adapt, adjust, and move on from there. It's concerning that this has been going over a year, and after the last pandemic over 100 years ago, it took 3 years for the whole country to recover. I just worry about how do we move forward? How do we get the financial benefits of an economy that has been kind of dragging because people have been isolated for so long? We just have to work with each other to try to find solutions so we can ask for what's needed, especially needed for the town. And there's a few examples I have probably for other questions where we should be asking for money because other towns and cities are getting it too.
You mean asking for assistance money, like COVID relief money?
Yeah, but there were certain things that we had for the community center and for public safety buildings that we lost money because of COVID. So it was only a one-time deal. The government had to do something with it to help out other communities. So we're like, okay, so we lost it. As far as I know, we lost it, but they can't find it. So as long as we can ask again for these same funds down the road, since the current budget is looking at about $47 billion for the Commonwealth. And then of course we get our share out of that for our population.
Right. Okay. Thank you. I agree. Resilience is something that we've all been, I think, very lucky to have. Question number 2. In your opinion, what aspects of the Pembroke town government need fixing the most and the least?
Right now, the least is our town manager. Mr. Chenard has been phenomenal. Like I said, I was glad I was on that search committee on seeing how he can push us forward and the things he did while he was in Natick on how we can grow as a community and just be persistent and ask for what we need. Not just what we want, but what we need to further on the town projects or what we need to do properly so our citizens don't have to take the hit on the taxes. What do we need fixing on? Well, there's a lot of stuff besides, personally with physical, structural stuff that we have to do within town. In and of itself, I mean, it's because of COVID. I try not to delve on what we're trying to fix personally or personnel wise, because everyone's going through a tough time right now. So I want to make sure I give anyone the benefit of the doubt, especially for this year, on how we can proceed forward. And if someone wants to stay within town or be part of this community, I welcome any and all to participate.
Okay, great. Thank you. And let's go on to the third question. There are pros and cons to having those with long tenure sitting on an elected board versus those who may be newly elected to a position. What is your view on board turnover?
It all depends because of what we have with our board now. I said I respect what Mr. Trabucco has done because he's actually our senior member of the board. And that institutional knowledge has been so helpful to me in my first term on how things work with the board, what kind of back and forth I can have with Mr. Trabucco and other board members, and how can we further our own thoughts and feelings and what our own life experiences have done to push what's best for town. So like I said, I'm only a first termer, but I said for town government itself, I was on advisory for 3 years. So I have 6 years in town government as an appointed board member and also an elected board member.
Okay. Question on people that are just brand new into a position. How long does it take to get kind of up to speed on all the things you need to know if you're on the select board in Pembroke?
That's a great question because for me, being in public service nearly for volunteering or whatever for almost over 30 years now, I started young. So it was kind of old hat for me where I just need to know what the procedures were first. And it clicked with me. For others, it might take a little longer. They don't understand what should be going on, or if they were another member on another board, or they're really, really new and they're not sure how town government works. But, they were fortunate enough to be elected or appointed that as long as they're willing to do the work, I don't see a problem with anyone, trying within that first year to get the knowledge down of what it's actually done in Pembroke.
Okay, thank you. And now I'm going to give you a 20-second to answer rapid response question. Are you ready? Okay.
I'm ready.
If you were given $3 million to spend in any way in and for the town of Pembroke, how would you spend it?
Oh, that's awesome. Since knowing all our infrastructure needs, it would have to be part of that. Like I told you earlier, that the $3 million that we lost, that looks like that we lost for the community center, that would be one thing to make sure we can help out with that. But also know that there's needs for the library, there's needs for public safety. I mean, have to try to divvy it somehow where it'd be beneficial to all departments. I said, because as a board member, I'm not just worried about one issue or one area, or the fire, the police, DPW, the library, or even town hall members. I'm worried about it all because I represent all.
Okay, perfect. That was, you had your 20 seconds, so it's basically infrastructure was your answer to that one. That's wonderful. And now you're going to go on to your 2-minute closing remarks. Go right ahead.
Okay, thank you. I'm John Brown, asking for your vote June 26th to continue being your representative to the Select Board. I would like to thank PAC TV again for this forum to answer questions on several different topics. I hope I'm able to gain your support to continue doing the work we have just begun to do to move Pembroke forward as a leader on the South Shore. I love our town of Pembroke and the people who reside here. Our community has made it very welcoming to myself and my family. I've seen firsthand the generosity and friendship that the people of Pembroke bring to this community. I've had a great opportunity to be one of your elected officials, and I would like to continue to do that for the next 3 years. Throughout my public service career, I know I'm elected by some to represent all, and I will always keep that mindset because the people of our town are the most important for what we are trying to accomplish now and in the future. With your help and support, we'll be able to move the needle forward and accomplish goals the town has set for itself for the betterment of our community. I ask that you please consider voting for me, John Brown, on June 26th to continue being your voice in the town of Pembroke. If you have any questions, concerns, please feel free to contact me through my Facebook page, John Brown, Pembroke Select Board, or email me at jbrown946@gmail.com for campaign questions, or you can call me on my cell at 571-235-2015. Thank you, and see you around town.
Thank you, John. Thank you for participating in this interview. We wish you the best of luck throughout your campaign and in the election. For our viewers, thank you for joining us. If you're interested in watching replays for this interview, please visit our website, pactv.org/elections, for replay times and online viewing options, including PAC TV's on-demand and streaming service, PAC TV Prime. And please make your choices heard by voting in the election on Saturday, June 26th. Thank you and good day.